Hello everyone, this is Manish Pandey. Welcome to this GitHub Copilot Exam Q&A video series. This is part 3. If you have not seen my previous videos like part 1, part 2, then I will recommend you to first watch those videos because in part 1 it started with the question 1, right? And there are lots of important questions there. So I'll recommend you to watch that video first and then we'll start with the next question. Question number 61. What is the significance of the arrange, act, and assert sections in the unit tests? So the answer is option B. They are used to structure unit test into setup means arrange, execution means act, and verification phase. Question 62. What does GitHub Copilot provide when creating unit tests for a specific condition? And the answer is option C. It suggests completions and generates tests based on the code context. Question 63. What is the benefit of using GitHub Copilot for generating unit tests? And the answer is option B. It can suggest a range of unit tests based on the code context, saving development time. Question 64. What is the purpose of generating assertion to ensure that function input parameters are valid? And the option is B. The answer is B. To prevent invalid data from being processed by the function. Question 65. What factors can be considered when working on code quality improvements? And the answer is C. Readability, complexity, modularity, reusability, testability, extensibility, reliability, performance, security, scalability, usability, and portability. Correct? These are the factors. Question 66. What does code reliability refer to in software development? And the answer is B. The likelihood that software will function correctly under specific conditions and for a certain period of time. Question 67. What is one way to improve code reliability? And the answer is B. By identifying potential issues in the code to prevent bugs and errors from occurring. Question 68. What is the effect of maintaining a high quality bar in your code when using GitHub Copilot? And the answer is A. Copilot latches on to your code to generate suggestions that follow the existing pattern. Question 69. What are some ways to improve exception handling in code to make it more secure? And the answer is B. Catch the most specific exceptions possible, avoid revealing the sensitive information in exceptions, and avoid swallowing exceptions. Question 70. What is the primary purpose of content filtering in GitHub Copilot? And the answer is D. To prevent the generation of malicious or harmful code. What is the primary purpose of toxicity filter in GitHub Copilot? And the answer is C. To eliminate harmful or offensive content in code suggestions. Question 72. Well, how does GitHub Copilot determine the code completion suggestions it provides? It based on the context of code in the editor. So the answer is A. Question 73. How does Copilot use an organization's code base and internal knowledge to enhance productivity and collaboration? And the answer is option B. By tailoring coding assistance, answering questions, and suggesting code aligned with the organization's standards and best practices. Question 74. How does GitHub Copilot work? And the answer is A. GitHub Copilot uses prompts and natural language text that you type to provide coding suggestions. Question 75. How does GitHub Copilot learn from your prompts? The answer is B. It utilizes various approaches, including zero shot, one shot, and few shot learning. Question 76. Which of the following is not a step in the process of GitHub Copilot processing a user's prompt into a code suggestion? And the answer is statistical analysis and pattern recognition. How does the fill in the middle FIM technique enhance GitHub Copilot's code suggestions? And the answer is C. By enabling Copilot to consider a wider context of code surrounding the cursor position. Question 78. In the outbound flow of GitHub Copilot, which of the following action might occur after the code suggestion is generated? And the answer is B. The suggestion is presented to the users for review and acceptance. Question 79. What happens when GitHub Copilot generates more than one code completion suggestion? And the answer is C. It enables developers to review each suggestion by selecting the left or right arrows from the keyboard basically. So answer is C. Question 80. What is the purpose of reviewing and correcting the output generated by GitHub Copilot chat? So the answer is option B. To ensure the accuracy and completeness of the generated explanation and documentation. Question 81. Identify which statement is valid and select the correct answer. The answer is B. A prompt, which is our input, is a collection of instructions or guidelines that tell our copilot what to generate. Correct? 82. What does the quality of the output from GitHub Copilot depend on? And the answer is how well you craft your prompt. So depends on how well you are writing your prompt. So answer is C. Question 83. What is the role of LLM, large language models, in the GitHub Copilot? And the answer is to generate the context aware code suggestions and respond to the prompts. Question 84. What is the importance of context and intent when developing prompts for GitHub Copilot chat? And the answer is option C. They specify the scope that GitHub Copilot should examine and the goal to be achieved. Question 85. What is a recommended practice to improve the performance of a GitHub Copilot chat? And the answer is option A. Limiting the prompt to coding questions or tasks to enhance the model's output quality. Question 86. What is the difference between GitHub Copilot Business and GitHub Copilot Enterprise? So these are the Copilot plans. And the answer is C. GitHub Copilot Enterprise has an extra layer of personalization with organization utilizing their own code base to train GitHub Copilot. 87. Which of these advanced features aren't available in GitHub Copilot Enterprise but were available in GitHub Copilot Business? So the answer is D. None of the above. Means if you see A, B, C, so none of these. The answer is D. Question 88. What is the purpose of using chat participants, slash commands, and chat variables in GitHub Copilot chat? And the answer is option C. They help GitHub Copilot chat understanding the context and intent of the question. Next question. How can GitHub Copilot chat help generate explanations for unfamiliar code? The answer is B. By generating the natural language description of the code's functionality and purpose. And the question 90. How can GitHub Copilot chat help generate inline code documentation? And the answer is B. By generating inline code comments based on natural language prompts or commands. We'll cover more questions in the next videos. If you have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe and please like this video and do comment on this video. Thank you.